Hello, this is Michael Chadwick from Corcoran, broadcasting from an Uber on the way to an event. So I met with the seller yesterday. It was a very interesting conversation. She happened to mention that she was looking to downsize. She's getting older, and her property has some stairs, and the neighborhood's changed, and she's looking to move to a different neighborhood. It has more of a vibe that kind of feels more like home to her. She's been in the same community for about 25-30 years now, and things have changed. But it's interesting with the market being the way that it is. So we talked about what is currently available in comparison to her home right now to kind of get a gauge for how much the property is worth. So maybe you're going through a life change yourself. Maybe somebody died, or you're separating, or there's some other reason that's causing you to consider selling in 2023. So here are just a couple of things to keep in mind. So first of all, when you're looking to sell a property, the first thing you want to ask yourself is who's buying, okay? Who is the target audience? That's kind of sales 101, but especially in real estate. Second thing is ask yourself if you can think like a buyer. If you had 10 properties to look at and they're all lined up next to each other, what's going to get your attention? I'll tell you two things will get your attention. One, the price. Two, the photos, okay? So if you got a property that's priced too high, buyers are gonna just skip right over the ads, they'll go on to the next one. So I once had a sales manager say to me, you really can't price too low because the market will then push it back up again. What you want is when your property hits the market, the second it hits the market, bam, you have all these buyers attacking like vultures, and it causes a feeding frenzy that pushes up the price over asking. Second thing is the pictures. So there's a debate about whether you should just leave it as is, or you should virtually stage, or actually stage. Now let's talk about what staging is. Staging creates context. If you're a buyer and you walk into a property that looks like a showroom, it's much easier for you to envision, what that place looks. Oh, it got dark all of a sudden. Whew. Sorry, I'm driving in crazy conditions at night. There you go, a little more light. So just keep in mind that it's been proven that homes that are staged sell typically for more money and faster. So if you owned your property for years and you have a lot of equity and you're really not under pressure to sell immediately, and you do want to get the highest return on your investment, of course, that all things considered, I would say take the time to have your property professionally staged. Now there's a number of companies that I can recommend, but one key advantage to listing with Corcoran is we work with a company called Real Vitalize. And the arrangement that we have with the Real Vitalize is that we will actually front the costs of updating your property, making some cosmetic improvements, renovating and staging. And then we can settle up at the closing. And of course, if it doesn't sell, we're gonna get paid back. But as long as it's priced correctly, it's gonna sell. A manager once told me years ago that the key to selling is price plus exposure equals sale. So you want to make sure that your property is priced correctly, and in fact, a little under what the market would say it's worth right now. And again, the reason for that is because the price is not a contract price, it's a marketing tool. I think sellers often get bent up in that number in their minds. They think it's really worth this number, when the reality is that the buyers are the ones that will determine what they're willing to pay at any given time. And if we get the maximum number of buyers in the door, then we'll create a bidding war which pushes that price above asking. So that's what we want to do. Is the second we hit the market, we don't want it to sit. We want to price it in such a way where the second it hits the market, bam, the buyers descend, and we create a bidding war driving you over asking. So if you have any further questions about selling or buying or renting in New York City, give me a call. It's what we do. I'm with Corcoran, the #1 brokerage for residential real estate in New York City. I got a great team, and very excited to talk with you. So have a wonderful day, evening, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.